Crawford Allan is the Senior Director for the Traffic Program in North America. It's the World Monitoring Agency for the World Wildlife Fund. He says there has been some progress in combating animal trafficking, but not necessarily for the right reasons.
You know, over the past couple of years, we've seen enormous leaps and bounds in progress, but unfortunately, the progress is resulting from a crisis. People are reacting to a crisis around the world of largely a slaughter of some of our greatest and most famous endangered species like elephants, rhinos, and tigers. So whilst we're seeing this very dramatic increase in poaching and trade in their body parts, we're also seeing the world respond. We're having a very positive result in terms of world leaders now waking up to the fact that we're going to lose these emblematic species unless we act now, unless we act fast, and we act hard on what's going on with the illegal wildlife trade.
Specifically, let's talk about ivory, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the items that you're insinuating here. And Asia is one of the biggest buyers of that product. Unfortunately, different countries have different rules, and different enforcements can vary greatly in terms of effectiveness. What are you saying to the government leaders in terms of getting more enforcement for these rules?
Yeah, you know, you need a joined-up approach, and the solutions are not simple. I mean, you need strong enforcement on the ground to protect elephants from the poachers who are going in heavily armed, who are even using poisoning or water holes that can take out whole herds of elephants in one go. But also you need some very strong reactions. The reason that now this issue is being taken seriously is because there's been a connection made. And we've helped with that connection in providing information that shows the poaching of elephants is linked to very serious organized crime groups that are profiting from the trade, but also more insidiously, the funding from that trafficking in ivory is also going to fund terrorism in some countries. And this is something that's really has been the eye-opener, the thing that has woken up world leaders to why this is causing instability, why this is actually causing problems at the community level, and governments are really reacting to it now.
The economics of it, obviously
Yeah.
There's a lot of money involved. Is there a way that the governments can either tax their way to solving the problem? Is there a way that you guys can talk to the different government officials or talk to trade officials and see if there's a way to stamp that out with the use of sort of economics, if you will?
Yeah, well, you know, the demand for ivory and other wildlife like rhino and tiger skins and so on has caused a price spike. You know, increasing affluence in countries in Asia has caused a disposable wealth that people are looking to buy luxury, rare, exotic items, symbols of status now. Of course, so the problem is that the price is starting to go through the roof. It's a very strong incentive for poaching and trafficking, and also it has a corrupting influence. So it's very clear that the price issue is something that is critical to resolve. In terms of economics, I think we have a challenge here.
One problem I see, which is very difficult to solve, is that there is demand for these products,
Yeah.
be it illegal. Is there enough consumer awareness that people who buy this stuff realize that it's illegal?
I think the issue of consumer awareness is critical. I mean, there is a chance now that we can bring about a change in attitudes. When you have an item that is a fashion item, fashions can change, and we need to make it really uncool, that you no longer should be buying an ivory statue to sit on your shelf. But consumer awareness is very difficult. I think that you have to find out what are the triggers to change, what is going to make people change their consumer behavior. And one thing we've learned is that some people in the corporate sector have a major role to play. People who are respected and looked up to, senior figures in that private sector, could be spokespeople, could reach out and make people understand that actually this isn't the thing to do, that it's causing a lot of problems. It's causing reputational problems for certain governments and countries too, and the business sector.
So those are the challenges. Give us an example of one country or a group of countries that are doing this right, that are actually implementing certain regulations and the consumers are aware, and you're actually seeing some good traction in terms of getting your message out and getting progress on reducing the illegal trade.
I think there's very few countries where you could say they're a perfect case role model example. A lot of countries are working hard at this, and world leaders in many countries in Asia, Africa, and Europe and North America are coming together now. There's a conference going on right now as we speak in the UK that's bringing together a declaration of what needs to be done. There's some countries are doing it right, say at the community level. Take the example of Namibia in Africa. They've got a very important community-led initiative that makes people own the wildlife. The people own the wildlife, so they want to protect it, and they earn income and revenues from a sustainable harvest of wildlife for their local use. And it's a proven to be a very strong incentive for them to protect their own wildlife. It's a really good model. And when you bring in other techniques like they're using in Namibia with technology. So, for example, we have a project funded by Google that actually bringing in high tech to help protect wildlife, bringing in unmanned aerial vehicles, for example, to use night vision from the sky to look out for those poachers and help the rangers do their job better.